By Emma Powerful. Attention of Global Family and Movement of the Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB, ably led by the great and indefatigable liberator Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, was drawn to the laughable and disgraceful statement credited to the Fulani herdsman, Islamic agendist and quasi-PDP presidential candidate Alhaji Atiku Abubakar at Enugu State yesterday, the 27th day of September 2022, where he was ranting how he would stop Biafra agitation if he becomes the president of the zoo. Those deluded Southeast politicians around Atiku Abubakar should warn him to stop using Biafra agitation championed by our great leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB for his useless political campaigns. He and his Eflafu politicians in the East should stop talking like morons and bragging about what is beyond their reach. Biafra independence movement struggle being championed by IPOB is beyond the zoo's local politics. IPOB, being the largest liberation movement in the world, has a crop of intellectuals in her leadership doing great works and are unstoppable by the criminal Nigeria politicians. Atiku Abubakar and his corrupt political gang must know that we allowed them to Enugu State does not mean we don't know what to do to stop them from entering Enugu State ever again. As much as we are a civilized movement, we don't want to be used for corrupt election campaigns, or we will force them to stop their campaigns in our territories. If the Fulani agendist has nothing to tell his gullible and treacherous followers like Emeka Ahidioha, Nyanwodo, Osita Chidoka and a few others, he should stay off instead of incurring the wrath of IPOB. If he continues after this warnings, we would ensure he doesn't campaign in the Southeast during this campaign season, let alone talking rubbish to his rented audience. IPOB knew why we did not stop him yesterday, and if he doubts our capability of stopping him, let him talk against IPOB again. We knew that the Eflafu politicians from the East, some of whom mentioned above, told him and his deputy Ifeanyi Okowa that IPOB is not on ground, but we will prove them wrong if they go ahead to use IPOB and Biafra agitation for their zoo political campaigns. If Atiku thinks he is dealing with those set of Alleluia politicians around him from the East, he will be disappointed because they are a bunch of expired politicians with no iota of integrity or respect from the people. They are only after the monies Atiku looted by selling Nigeria assets to his cronies as vice president and head of privatization team during Obasanjo government. For the sake of these men and the Fulani evil agenda, Atiku and PDP will lose entire Southeast totally if there would be another shameful selection process called election in Nigeria by 2023. Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, you can do anything to please your gullible followers, but you cannot stop Biafra agitation championed by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB members worldwide. The only remedy to this current agitation is fixing a date for Biafra referendum to ascertain where people of Biafra wish to stay. Your fellow Fulani agendist late Buhari threatened to stop Biafra agitation by force, but he failed and ended up in a shallow grave somewhere in Saudi Arabia. If you also dare, you will join your fellow Fulani agendists who have sworn to end Biafra agitation but all ended in their graves. Biafra struggle is a spirit that will destroy every one of her enemies. On the Monday sit-at-home order, yes, IPOB leadership initiated it, but after much appeals from our mothers and elders, our leader asked us to review it and stop it. Some of our people voluntarily chose to continue to sit at home on Mondays. IPOB leadership respects people's voluntary wish, but those Nigeria agents employed by some Eastern politicians and the Fulani government are the ones using their gangs to enforce Monday sit at home by destroying our people's properties just to blackmail IPOB. Therefore, we are not responsible for the enforcement of the continued non-existent Monday sit at home. We are fully committed to the unconditional release of our leader and the liberation of Biafra people from the bondage of Nigeria. We are not interested in Nigeria politics, therefore, never you mention IPOB and Biafraland during your campaign. Mentioning IPOB name will destroy you and your political party. At Views Exclusive Rights, Comrade Emma Powerful, Media and Publicity Secretary for IPOB Worldwide, October 1, 2022.